So, hello, and welcome to our GDTA Spotlight in November 2024. This is our monthly format of the Global Design Thinking Alliance, and the GDTA, the Global Design Thinking Alliance, which is up and running since 7 years, counts now 39 member institutions, all of them more or less mostly academic institutions in 24 countries in 5 continents. And once a month, we do this online 1-hour spotlight session with usually a guest from inside from the community. So one of the representatives of the GDTA members. And today, and sometimes we also have special guests. My name is Uli Weinberg, and I used to run the School of Design Thinking for the last 17 years in Potsdam, in Germany. And I brought together with Hasso Plattner at the Hasso Plattner Institute in Potsdam Design Thinking to Germany and probably also to Europe. And I have also the pleasure since 7 years now to run and be the president of the Global Design Thinking Alliance, a community of design thinkers which I actually love very much. And as I told you, we have usually people from the community, the GDTA community, but today I'm really thrilled to welcome a very special guest, Andrey Khusid. And actually, thanks to Maria Stashenko, you made us aware that Andrey was being a part of your activities in Moscow lots of years ago. It's actually 2010, but Andrey knows probably better. And he's the visionary founder and CEO of Miro, and we are all familiar with Miro, all of you probably, especially during the pandemic. That was our big helper to run design thinking courses and classes throughout the years, and it stayed to be the platform, the leading online collaboration platform. And Andrey, you have transformed the way teams connect, brainstorm, and create across large distances. We were actually appreciating that very much at the Potsdam D School. And his journey with Miro began with first ideas in 2010 in Moscow. And he thought about how to enhance what we were usually doing with whiteboards and Post-it notes. And that pandemic hit the place, and since then it evolved into a platform that empowers more than 60 million people around the globe. Under Andrey's leadership, Miro has championed the role of design thinking in fostering innovation and has recently ventured into AI integration. And I actually had the chance to watch your presentation recently with the Intelligent Canvas. I was really blown away what you're doing right now, and further elevating the collaborative experience. And today we'll get an insider's view of Miro's origin, Andrey's personal philosophy behind the Intelligent Canvas, hopefully. And also, I would love to learn a little bit more about the vision for the future of digital collaboration. So please join me in welcoming Andrey Khusid. Big applause, and thank you very much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, everyone here. Appreciate this kind introduction and words, and obviously, thank you everyone for using our platform or participating in some workshops on our platform, because without you, we can't kind of grow to where we are. I'm calling from Amsterdam. I'm originally from Perm. It's in the middle of Russia, where we started the company back in 2011. So I didn't plan to kind of, be on this call 13 years later, meeting all of the practitioners in design thinking across the world. We just started with a very simple idea, bringing whiteboard into a browser, and here we are. Life helped us to evolve it from just a very simple idea in a very small office to a platform that supports teams across the globe. You several times mentioned, Uli, that I'm an external guest I, to be honest, want to be next time introduced as a part of this community. Hopefully this one-time event will help me to get closer to all of you, and I hope we can stay connected with this community, and I'm happy to help in any capacity I can. So yeah, I have a few slides. I actually have a lot of slides. I don't like to run through slides, but I think the expectation is that I spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes talking about the story and what we're building and like our approach to design thinking in the company. And then I would love and welcome the conversation. So I would be happy to share anything you folks might be interested in. So let me share my screen and start the presentation. And I understand that people here are from all parts of the world, correct, on the call? So we have all the world connected on this call. That's amazing. Okay. Hopefully majority are in comfortable time zones like European time zone or East Coast, West Coast.
Some of them I've seen, they are not in a comfortable time zone. They should be sleeping right now, but they're here, which is great.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you will spend time with some have a quality time here. So let me screen share. Do you guys see my screen and do you see the presentation? Perfect.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about our path to the innovation workspace, because for us, this year, especially last month, was a big month as a company milestone. We reintroduced Miro to the world. We call Miro today Innovation Workspace, and I want to take you on a journey with me on how it all evolved into Innovation Workspace, what Innovation Workspace means, and how we think about the future here. So let me take you through the story. We came up with this mission in 2016. The mission came up from a very simple point, is that Miro historically was used as a napkin or a whiteboard or a flip chart. And we know that napkin, whiteboard, flip chart is the place where all ideas originate. And we thought, okay, if all the ideas originate on Miro, what should be our mission? And we came up with a mission of empowering teams to create the next big thing. I personally have a lot of passion around this mission, and this mission drives me to continue building the business, evolving the business, because I love to be behind all positive changes in the world. And design thinking practitioners, innovators, makers, we all try to change the world to be a better place. And for me, it gives a lot of energy to see how all those great things that we are having in the world are originating on Miro. Both things that are locally next big things. So we see a lot of communities, nonprofits solving some very local but very important problems, as well as biggest enterprises innovating on Miro and bringing some best products to the marketplace. And we have these three major pillars that we're building around. First is we are building for teams who are bringing new products and services to the market. We are designing the product for the new world, which is distributed and collaborative. And we are focused on improving the speed and impact of innovation that is happening. These are three major pillars that we're building our product around and that guide our decision-making. Now, let's go back to 2011. And this is kind of one of the photos we found recently, which is pretty fun. These photos are representing how Miro, how we were building Miro while we were not having Miro. And this is one of those very rare photos where everything was happening on the physical whiteboard. And you can imagine that starting from 2012, when we launched our initial product, we moved majority of our activities to the digital first experience. But I find this photo pretty fun because first, I had a lot of hair on my head, and second, there is a lot of kind of sausage making process that you can see on this one board that we had in the office, but we constantly had to erase it to continuously innovate. This is 2012. We launched our first product. It was a simple idea, bring whiteboard into a browser. There were a few products in this space, but they were not kind of cool, and we were not seeing them as a products that we believe we want to use. So we came up with this idea. I had a creative agency back in the day, and we had some customers who were remote, and we thought that it would be amazing if we have this opportunity to collaborate with the customers who are remote. But the first version was pretty interesting. It was more like a social network. So we built it around 3 core pillars. One is board, second is people, and third is content. And we connected first product with Google Plus and Facebook, so people can invite, drag and drop collaborators from those products onto Miro Canvas to kind of plan their trips together or brainstorm on how they want to change their home or like backyard design. So like more non-productivity, non-professional use cases, I would say. But then we figured out pretty fast that majority of people are coming to solve some complex problems, some business problems, and we start to pivot towards that audience. But let me show you a couple of fun stuff from those times. Some of you may know, I think maybe majority will know, but yeah, let's put on the chat what was the first name of Miro. I found this slide in our internal quiz, like when we onboard new people into the company. Yeah, the chat is pretty silent, so maybe the whiteboard. Yeah, why not? A few people saying real-time board. Yeah, we came up with this idea of real-time board, but you can see on the board all this all this lists of names that we were thinking about. And the reason why we bought real-time board, because it was the only name on GoDaddy that had $10 price tag. And because we had no money, it was bootstrapped company. We just put $10 in. And my decision was, let's buy something really cheap. Real-time board sounds like it can explain what it does. And then if this thing take off, we can buy something more expensive. And that's how we lived with this name for 8 years after. So that was a real-time board story. It was first interface, some infographics design. And this is a fun video. I found it 49 seconds or so. So let's take a look at how it was presented in the first few months.
And when the time comes, hey guys, I'm Max from Real-Time Board, and I'd like to introduce you to visual real-time collaboration with endless whiteboards. To do this, I'll show you an actual example of our team working on the new homepage. Let's see, on this board, we have a couple of previous versions of this page. I've already built a simple mock-up, and now I'm just going to get our designer and marketer to join me. Now we have 3 people on the board, and if one of us starts moving objects or drawing, all the changes will be displayed for all 3 of us in real time. Our usual workflow goes like this. Senia, our marketer, uploads all the necessary marketing data and marks things up. Michael, the designer, does his visual designer magic, and we get something looking like an actual web page. We discuss it on the board, do some other improvements, and upload it to the web. And when the time comes, we just do it all over again. This way, we always see the big picture. And that's about it. See, improvement is a never-ending process, and that's why you might need an endless board to fit everything. Just go ahead and try it yourself at realtimeboard.com.
Yeah, that was our first video, but I don't know if you guys spotted or not this, but look who is here on our website featured. So it's Maria Stashenko who actually brought me here to this conversation. So I just haven't seen it before, but no, I mean, like I saw it 12 years ago when we put her name here, but I just spotted that Maria is here on our website giving us a testimonial, which is amazing to see. So we were pretty well embedded into design thinking community in British School of Design and some other places from our first days. And this is like just a couple fun pictures. We were thinking about how to explain people the value of the online whiteboard. And you can see that, like, you know, physical whiteboard, your stickers are flying away, and on the digital, they stick around. On physical whiteboard, like, you have to fit everything in, and digital is infinite. So this was like internally handmade designs that were focused on like telling the story and like explaining the value of the product, correct? So like it's a lot of fun. So We had a lot of fun. As I mentioned, we got to around $1 million in revenue in 2016. We got to first million users around that time registered on our platform. And we start to go up market, and we see a lot of users from big enterprise customers start to register on our platform and start to use our platform pretty extensively. So we decided that we have to introduce a category that will be resonating with the enterprise buyers, and we call that category visual collaboration. And the idea was very simple. The idea was that enterprises have key pieces in their communication stack. One is Slack messaging, and Microsoft Teams were ramping up at that time. Second is video audio communication like Zoom. And we thought that there is a missing piece, and that missing piece is a visual communication, visual collaboration. So we decided to introduce this category, and that was quite an ambitious goal to position a new category for enterprises and pitch them that they need to bring it into their businesses. Fast forward 2021, during the mid of pandemic, Satya Nadella from Microsoft was sharing like all the cool stuff that Microsoft was building, and they were referring to this visual collaboration story, and I was really happy that we were pioneering this story back in 2017. So that's how visual collaboration story was introduced, and yeah, on 1 second, sorry, my daughter came in. Hello. Okay. Okay. So that was 2017. We introduced this visual collaboration story, and since then we started to grow the business, and the business was growing pretty well. We were accelerating the business 3x year over year. We became a double-digit business in 2019 or so. Yeah, it was all great, but then pandemic started, and our product scaled from 5 million users on our platform to 50 million users in a couple of years, and to several $100 million business from a couple dozens million dollar business. So I think it was amazing to see how the community perceived our product and the value that we created. So that was quite a journey. And we were kind of starting from 2021 thinking about what's next, because visual collaboration was becoming more saturated, and there were some other cheap whiteboards, free whiteboards appearing here and there. So it was not much of the innovation. But we were kind of really believing in the mission of empowering teams to create the next big thing. And thinking about what's next for us on that mission, we decided to build what we call AI-powered innovation workspace. And we started to build it in 2021. We started kind of to build it slow because there was still a lot of demand through pandemic, and our current horizon was getting a lot of traction. But in the last couple of years, we accelerated the build-up phase, and we acquired Envision team in end of 2023. The Envision CEO and former CPO became Miro CPTO, and we kind of accelerated the final mile of building the innovation workspace, and that's what we launched in October last month. So if you are curious about that, you can take a look at our blog. There are videos on YouTube from our big major launch event, demos, keynotes, everything. So you can take a look in the depths of what Innovation Workspace is. But the idea is that teams are moving from idea to outcome super fast. So our goal is to accelerate innovation cycles. And that's what we are excited to build now and to scale to the world. And just to summarize that journey, this is where we are. We got a lot of recognition through the journey, through last several years journey. We are more than 80 million users on our platform. We are serving more than 250,000 customers across the world, ranked as #1 in a lot of categories across Trust Radius, G2. We just got into IDC leaders board among enterprise companies who are pushing forward collaborative workspaces. So it's like a lot of recognition and a lot of great stuff, but the reality is that we're at the very beginning of our new chapter of the journey. We just launched this innovation workspace. We know that it will require the whole product market fit exercise again, model market fit. We're rebuilding a lot of stuff in the business, in the company. So I'm pretty excited. Like these days, I feel like I'm back to 2011, 2012, when I started the company and started this kind of big idea that at that time a few people believed in. We have way more things now on our platform. We have amazing customer community, user community, we have brand love, we have cash in the bank. All that is good, but at the same time, like you still have to build, you still have to figure out what will stick, what not. You have to break through the product market fit moment. So, and that's kind of gives me personally a lot of energy to drive the company through this transformation. I have a few more slides. Why innovation workspace? So let's talk a little bit about the context in which we all operate, and maybe it will be helpful for all of you also to, and I would love to hear your perspective on this. This is BCG, and it's not just BCG kind of research, but there are a lot of other PwC, McKinsey, we work with all of them. And it's pretty clear that the innovation prioritization is increasing now in today's world. Like every CEO is pushing forward the innovation because you either lead or you are behind. And we see a lot of examples across the world where big companies, small companies get out of the business, big companies are shutting down projects that they're working on for 10 years or so. It's like pretty massive challenge for a lot of companies in the world these days. And we believe that we can help companies to accelerate innovation, again, from idea to outcome. There are different reasons across why the innovation is not happening. But one of those core reasons that BCG found out in surveying most innovative companies is that 32% in the companies, 32% of respondents say that there is siloed innovation in their companies. And it's like, that's even in the best companies, but imagine what's happening across all the rest of the companies. And it's not the only problem, but we are trying to pick up the biggest problems out there and try to build the product around those biggest problems. And we came up with this 4 pillars that we believe are important. And I'm talking about this because this is a little bit of sausage making process on our side. And as this community is design thinkers, and when I think about design thinking, I'm also thinking about business models and operating models and all that. I'm trying to explain what's behind the scenes is happening in our case and how we design the product of the future. So we've picked up several things that are most important for our customers. It's about innovating together. It's like this fundamental collaboration moment when people from different parts of the business are coming together. Innovate faster, acceleration moment. Innovate your way. Every company has its own culture, its own ways of working, its own kind of methods. And we want our product not to dictate things. We want our product to support the ways how companies operate and innovate securely. This is important because obviously if your innovation is out, if it's leaks, then you are out of the game as well. So these are like 4 pillars that we came up with. And there are a lot of frameworks. We call it internally a framework and mental model safari on design thinking, on process design, service design. It's like a lot of those mental models, and all that. And we were thinking, okay, how we can bring this to life while we kind of double diamond, triple diamond. Like we have Miroverse. I hope all of you saw Miroverse, where you can find all those frameworks, templates. I'm sure some of you even contributed to Miroverse, so thank you for that. Appreciate that a lot. But there are a lot of these frameworks, like how to build products, how to build services. They all kind of are inspired by certain things. And what we try to do, we try to kind of, in our product now, to a degree, operationalize these frameworks and allow companies to implement whatever framework they believe is the right one. But we also kind of created this common denominator in try to bring this common language to our customers, which we call discover, define, and deliver. So you go through these stages from discovery, messy phase, where you learn, where you go into unstructured insights gathering, like brainstorms, all that kind of stuff. You pick up some nuggets, insights, and you go into a definition phase where you define the solution. Some companies call it design the solution, some companies define, like you shape the solution. You obviously agree what you are going to do, and then you move to delivery phase. And as we all know, it's an infinite loop. You can't kind of discover fully or define like 100% accurate. So you need to go continuously in this loop from discovery to definition to delivery, and teams have continuously to go back, understand the insight, go forward, like iterate, build, and there are a lot of jobs to be done. There are a lot of use cases on that journey, correct? So we start with what's our goals, with what are our customer insights, what's our kind of insights about our current architecture, business architecture, or product architecture, or marketecture, what's our requirements, what's our product brief, or what's our solution brief. We do messy prototyping, wireframing, then we do high fidelity, and then we move it into delivery, where we plan sprints, deliver like do big room planning, like deliver some artifacts, then retrospect all that. Like a lot of those jobs to be done that are happening along the journey, correct? So, and that's what's important. So we kind of try to simplify that, like put it on a kind of this two-dimensional line, and thinking, okay, how we can help teams to accelerate not just the journey from discovery to delivery, but also accelerate each of the use cases on that journey. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We're building this innovation workspace that helps teams across all parts of the business, with the focus on digital R&D, with the focus on broader R&D, with the focus on service design, but not limited to that. We help teams to move from their messy, like discovery moments, to very specific and very straightforward delivery moments. That's kind of how we think overall, and we believe that our platform can serve different lines of business across the business. This is a little bit of the architecture of the product. So in the center of the product, we bet on intelligent canvas. We have added a bunch of capabilities like documents, data tables, slides are coming. And then we, on top of that, are composing those capabilities into a specific use cases. And those use cases are connected through the workspace. So I think I'll spend another like maybe 3 minutes showing you what exactly this new product means, because I think it's easier to show than to tell, because obviously all of you know Miro historically, how it works, how it looks like. But let me show you what's going on now, because it's quite a shift for us of what we're trying to deliver for you folks. And I would love here or later like candid feedback also on the approach that we're taking. So if we go into this thing, this is a, let's say, a company which is like financial company that needs to build a second version of their mobile app. And we introduced this concept of spaces on the left side. And the idea of the spaces is to have all the jobs to be done that teams are doing in one structured flow. And this flow is structured as an overview, including some product metrics, project tracker, whatnot. Then there is a research of design, the discovery phase, definition phase, development is delivery phase, go-to-market, and whatever, team meetings, team rituals. And you can change anything here. You can obviously rename sections, add more sections, reshuffle things. But the idea is that we're creating this templatized flows, so teams cannot bring everything on one Miro board, or should not split things across different tools. They can bring everything in one tool. So you can see that you can embed anything third-party here, like Figma, Google Docs, BI dashboards from Power BI, or Looker or whatever teams are using, whatever presentations from PowerPoint. If someone is having a PowerPoint culture, it's still here as a part of the context that teams are working on. And then we have a bunch of different things that we added here, like project tracker, and this is a structured data table. So before you had only messy canvases in Miro, but we know that a lot of people love messy canvases. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is moving into structured data tables. And we thought that why we would not allow people to ideate on the canvas, have this brainstorm, and then in one click, like just drag and drop it. Oh, maybe it's not activated here. No, I'm using the beta, but yeah, it's weird. Oh yeah, it works here. So maybe it's something there. So I can drag and drop any idea here on this. Oh, something is weird here. Okay. Drag and drop anything from the Miro board to the data table and use it on a fully functioning complex data table. And then I can go full screen and share data table so people don't see the sausage making process. And this is not just the only experience that we added. We added product brief, same stuff. So you had a great workshop, great ideation. And then we introduced this AI-powered buttons that you can configure yourself or predefine for your teams. And I click generate product brief, and it starts to generate a product brief for me on the fly. And this product brief is generated out of the things that are highlighted here in my action button. So you can see that I say, take all these frames, like action, create with Miro AI, create a structured document, generate product brief. This is what we want to write on the button. Sources like 3 frames, problem 1, problem 2, and problem 3. Destination is a product brief or whatever you decide. And then what's the prompt is. And that creates the whole product brief out of this workshop that before you had to spend a few hours to do, and then you lost the energy between workshop and synthesizing the workshop. And now you can just drag and drop on the canvas some additional ideas that came up after the workshop. You can drag and drop a video, and you can even drag and drop a diagram that was on this board. So, and this becomes a very fast build of the product brief that is also collaborative, and then you can click full screen and you can do multiplayer editing, anything you want with the team. So I just showing you a couple of things that are cool. Last thing I'll show you here is the company that we are integrating into our product. It's a AI prototyping company that we just acquired recently. So imagine that I had that product brief that I composed out of the workshop, and then I have this. I have a bunch of this sticky notes here that came up with the idea as ideas. I click prototype, and I say create a prototype. Make it fun. Whatever is that? Sorry, make it fun. So you see, I selected 15 objects here, and we will have the prototype that is created on the fly here. It takes like a minute or so, so a little bit of time required to wait while it's built. And then if I go, yeah. Generating prototype. Let's wait a second. This is taking longer than expected. Always, yeah, I use this early version of the product. It might, yeah, well, okay, it happened. So this is a prototype. Everything is obviously editable. You can add wireframes, you can add whatever you need to that prototype, like text field, whatever, move things around, edit this fast. And the cool stuff about this prototype, it's a fully clickable prototype. It's not perfect, we're polishing some AI stuff, but it's fully clickable. So the point here is what I illustrated in the slides is that you can go from this ideation to a brief to a prototype in a matter of like minutes, correct? And before it took a lot of cycles. And what's also important is that a lot of people who are like thinkers, who are like makers, maybe engineers or marketers or UX researchers or product managers, they don't know how to use high fidelity prototyping products like Figma and whatnot. And we understand that to shorten cycle between the ideation process, and instead of someone just writing his idea or her idea on a sticky note, they can create a prototype and explain in a wireframe or prototype how it all should look like and work. I think that accelerates the innovation cycle significantly. So this is just another example of what use cases we're supporting. But in general, we're supporting a bunch of those different use cases. I don't want to make a product demo out of this conversation, so you guys got the idea, and those who would be interested, obviously, we can add you to beta version, and a lot of this stuff is going to be shipped in the next few weeks. So that's kind of pretty it about the story of the company, what we're doing and where we're going.